Oi, 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 oi. Just when,
Oi, oi.
just when we thought Mikel Arteta may have just turned the corner with his substitutions and his in-match game tactics that he displayed so wonderfully against Bayern Munich. What a shame he displayed the old traits he's displayed for 6 painful, miserable bloody years. And to go through it, we've got DJB on my right. We've got Shane Gunnar underneath him. And to his left, we've got the Geezer Normski, man. First and foremost, big up to the chat as well. Who we got in the building so far? We got Lynch. Come on, my brother. Always here, mate. Quaja, big up to you, Quaja. We got Gavin in the building. Big up to you, Gavin, man. We got Gunnar SE. Big up, brother. How you doing, man? Yeah. We got a bit of Lux videos. Big up to you, brother. We got Gianni as well, man. Panel of Legends. Spoken from a legend himself, man. We love a bit of Gianni, everyone. Go and subscribe to Gianni. DJB, man, how you been, dude? It's a weekend, you know what I mean? A weekend of ups and downs. We see Manchester City. They scored the winner a little bit late, didn't they? And of course, then we come to our own game, and it was not so great, was it, man? Talk me through it. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, not so bad. Wet, wild, and windy day. Bit like life at Stamford Bridge, actually.
Yeah.
I predicted a bit of a slippery slope, to be honest. I didn't see us winning there. I wasn't as confident as everyone else. I could see the. I could see things happening. I just had a bad feeling about it. I saw Chelsea play against Barcelona. I was impressed with them. And it was a game that they knew they couldn't lose. So I thought it'd be like a 1-1 or a 2-1 to Chelsea. I just couldn't see us winning it. And then watching it, from what I mean, obviously go around the panel and then come back to me for my views. But watching it, it panned out. My prediction was kind of looking right, to be honest. So apart from that, yeah, we're still top going into December. Long way to go. Long way to go. And my feet are firmly glued to the floor, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, now. Big up to you, man. Obviously, before we get into it, hello, Shane. Thank you very much for jumping on as always. 2 days, I get the pleasure of gracing you with your presence. Looking forward to it. But aside from that, how was your weekend, bud?
Yeah, it was all right. Again, it's that thing, Arsenal aside, isn't it? It's Arsenal aside. But listen, I'm trying to allow myself to be programmed now. So we're still top of the league. It's 5 points. It's only one game. We beat Bayern Munich. We beat Tottenham. What is your problem? Chelsea locked up. The referee. There was only 4 minutes injury time.
Unplug yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was close. Yeah, no.
Also, Shane, you forgot. Sorry, mate. You forgot to mention we was without our number 9, Kai Havertz. What he said in the post-match. We was without our number 9, Kai Havertz. Yeah. That was coming from the boss's mouth.
And apparently, the 4 yellow cards we got was the ref trying to even it up, according to Arteta as well, considering they were all blatant yellow cards. But listen, Zubamendi's a bag of shit. The manager's a coward, ultimate coward. We'll get into all of that. But look, it's everything that we deep down we knew would happen. We let ourselves believe. I said if we go and do something against Chelsea, then maybe I'd allow myself to start thinking, but I should have known better. This is Mikel Arteta, man. And like you said, he went and did the Bayern game. He got all the tactics right, but then he went back and did factory settings, what he's done for 6 years. So am I going to weigh it up? One game against 6 years? There's only one winner. He's going to choke again. And we never should have even let ourselves believe that he would even begin to change. Yes. So, yeah, no, I'm furious, if I'm honest with you, because that game proved everything that is wrong with this manager. Everything that's wrong with him. And it was all wrapped up in that one game.
Yeah, no, that's mad. Like I said, we'll get into more depth in it. But, yeah, that's as well why, again, I've said it before, and I've named the title Shutter Island's Mikel DiCaprio returns, because it's just all of that hope in it. Do you know what I mean? And then on the last minute, you just think, oh, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? All that hope, all that 6 years of hope bundled and thinking he's finally sussed it.
It's my
no. He's referring to old ways. Only 4 days later, Norms, isn't it?
Reset FC, mate. Reset FC. Groundhog Day. You name it, mate. Yeah, put your up glasses on, mate. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Listen, it's an absolutely frustrating weekend. the team is supposed to be, going for a title, best squad in the world, best squad in Europe right now as we speak. Lackluster performance. Arteta basically went there not to lose that game, and especially against 10 men Chelsea. This is the point where it really matters that this guy just doesn't. He can't do it. He can't take it over the line when it really matters. And we have a situation here where you go back and look at the Bayern Munich game, you look at the Tottenham game, and you're thinking, mate, I mean, even Shane at the phone and said, Norm, what should I do? Should I believe? As a man of faith, I would say, Shane, just take it easy, man. Yeah. Oh, Father, I have sinned.
I said believe that there's a chance we could win the league. Not that we'd win the league, man. Win the league.
He came to the confession. He came to the confession box. Yeah, I said, yeah. No, I said to him, listen, Shane, just press the brakes, mate. Just press the brakes.
Yeah. Pump the brakes there.
Pump it up, mate.
The brakes renewed. Ready for it.
Yeah, mate. Ready.
Yeah. No, it's frustrating. Well, but let's DJB. Let's start with you, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but we start the game, and I said this to Shane on the phone earlier. I thought, do you know what? I was expecting Chelsea to come at us a little bit for the first 10 minutes, and I'm not surprised that they did. I thought, considering they're at home, they'd have been buoyed by their result against Barcelona. They'll have confidence flowing through them. I knew, they'd probably start fast. So I sort of always accepted that was going to be the case. What I didn't accept was the rest of the 35 minutes in that half. We were totally, really sort of dominated. Not that they was peppering our goals with anything like that, but we were never really in the game. We couldn't string a pass together. We'll talk about some of the players individually in a little bit, but there was a lot going on in that midfield that was very, very poor, bar Declan Rice again. So it's no shock what name actually I'm going to hyper focus in, and it begins with a Z. There was a lot of poor positional plays going on in there. Defensively we looked really shaky. It's not surprising you're missing your two centre backs, and then we get what I thought was probably going to be the turning point of the game, DJB and boys and chat. Caicedo gets himself sent off, and I thought to myself, right, here we go. Now that's that. This is going to be the turning point of the game.
Christmas.
And nothing really else happened for the 10 minutes. I was like, whatever. Okay, it's half-time, DJB. It's half-time, Shane. It's half-time, Norms. It's half-time, chat. We're going to come out, and that's it. 10 men up. Arteta's going to put his foot down, get it into the boys. Come on, what we're doing here. We're a man up. Let's do it. 2 minutes later, we can see the goal. And still really didn't really have that much of a look in the game after that. We had a couple of chances. We scored the goal. But it never really looked like we were facing 10 men, did it? In fact, it probably looked more the other way around. It was disappointing, wasn't it, when you add all of that up? And it was a bit cowardly. I don't know what your take on it is, D, but it seemed like we really let ourselves down. Not only with the way we set out, not only with the way we played, but the substitutions. I thought leaving Mikel Merino on whilst bringing off a poor Eze, by the way. Eze was poor, DJB. But why on earth are you bringing him off and leaving Mikel Merino on the field? I will never know. No. There's a lot to digest there, D, and I want to hear your take on it, bro.
Right, it comes in 3 sections for me, Aaron. Chelsea were buoyant. They were up for it because they'd seen what happened at Sunderland. The manager had seen videos and done his own work. They saw what Sunderland done to us. We've played 2 away games against 2 physical teams, and we've come out second best.
Yeah.
Certain players didn't step up at Sunderland because it got a little bit tasty for them. Zubamendi, Eze. And certain players, again, when it gets a little bit tasty, didn't turn up at Stamford Bridge. Right from the off, Chelsea wanted it. They was more dominant. They wanted it more, and we couldn't cope with it. So then you look at the other situation where, okay, we're at Stamford Bridge. We're now going for a title on the back end of a Bayern Munich game. No one spoke about injuries after the Bayern Munich game, by the way. Injuries weren't even mentioned. We lose our 2 centre-halves. We've got our 2 centre-halves out. We've got a centre-half pairing. I'm not blaming them too much. They made a few iffy mistakes, but they're fresh. They've not played together. It's not them that you're turning your heads. You're not relying on them to win you that game. You're relying on your Eze's, you're relying on your Sakas, you're relying on your Martinellis, you're relying on your key attacking players. They wasn't there. Saka had his normal game. He's reached his ceiling. He ain't going to go no higher. He's done. He's at what Saka is now is his level. That's it. Still a great player, still a brilliant player. He will still have games where he will shine, but you'll see a lot of games up below par. And his stats in the last couple of seasons talk for itself. Martinelli shows everyone why we wanted to sell him in the summer. He's brilliant coming against a team that's tired, that's on their last legs. Bring Martinelli on, last 20 minutes, show your pace, open the game up, make something happen. Starting with Martinelli, we saw it at Stamford Bridge. Eze, got a little bit physical for him. He didn't want to know. He weren't getting involved in the Reece James and all of that. No, he thought he could just float around and do his thing. You're not at Crystal Palace now, Eze. You got to dig in. Yeah, you got to dig in. You got to show your worth. You got to show your man. You know, you got to show what you can do. Zubimendi, been saying it all along. What people see in this guy, pundits, ex-football players of Arsenal, I do not know. Because as a number 6, he's weak. He gets parged off the ball. When he's under pressure, he panics. His positional play defensively, he's all over the place. When he's got time and he's got no one in front of him and he's not under pressure, yeah, looks $1 million. I'd look $1 million. And I ain't played for years. Do you know what I mean? So I don't get where it comes from. You get assessed in big games, in big moments. When you are under pressure, that is when you have to step up as a player. All the Invincibles did in the past, all the great Arsenal players, your Ray Parlers and all of that, they all stepped up to the plate in big games. These guys are still vulnerable in big games. So now they're not performing on the pitch. You then turn to your manager to see what he can do. What does he do? He brings on Gyökeres. He then brings on Odegaard with Eze. And I'm thinking, oh, hang on a minute. That's a bit positive. Eze, Odegaard. Perhaps he's going to go for it. Nope. What does he do? Takes off Eze and puts Marino back in midfield.
Killed the game.
So we end up finishing the game the way we started the game.
More defensive.
10 men.
Yeah.
Or worse.
It's more defensive because
Marino
Odegaard's
up
more
front.
defensive than Eze.
Marino up front is a more goal-scoring threat than Gyökeres. Gyökeres is everywhere apart from where you need him, in the box. He's everywhere else apart from on the penalty spot. Right? So then he brings Marino, and then and then he has the audacity to turn around in his post-match garbage and says we dominated the game. Well, if you're dominating the game, why are you why are you putting Marino back in midfield? I know why. Because Chelsea was more of a threat on the counter than what we were. They were more of a threat. When Chelsea went forward, I'm thinking they're going to score it. When we went forward, it broke down, it was sideways, it was slowed down. There was countless of times we was on the counter-attack and it slowed down. Yeah. And then Odegaard come on, he flitted around for 5 minutes. But then he got clumped and he was game over.
Yeah.
They got
Get
into
the ball
him.
away, didn't he?
Yeah, they got into him.
Yeah.
Once he got hit, that was it. Odegaard had gone missing. Saka didn't really do nothing apart from assist the goal. And it just went through the team. And again, you're looking at the manager, and again, the manager is still tactically don't know what to do in big moments. And I've said this time and time again. It's not the 90 minutes. It's the 10, 20 minutes you need that in-game management to turn a game on its head. Yeah. You need that little bit of nous, 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, to come up with something different in-game to get you over the line. He didn't do it against Newcastle in the semi-final. He hasn't done it against PSG. He hasn't done it against Bayern Munich in quarterfinals and all of that. In big games, he still don't know how to turn the screw tighter. He fails. And this is what worries me. And this is why me, Shane, Nonsky, yourself, and all the other panels have been turning around and saying, keep your feet on the ground. It's early days. It's early days. Right? And then in his post-match conference, he's turning around and making excuses about injuries. He's blaming referees, saying that it got to level it up with the yellow cards and all of this. And then he says, we was missing our number 9, in brackets, Kai. You can look at it. It's on there. We was missing our number 9, Kai Havertz. Hang on a minute. I thought Gyökeres was our number 9. That's why we bought him, wasn't it? Why are you telling everyone that Kai Havertz is your number 9? Why? Because as Matty said there, he's coming straight back in the team. When the panic button is pressed and when the pressure's on, he's going to stick to what he knows. His safety net. And he's going to throw it all over he's going to blanket it all over Arsenal Football Club. He will line up with your Odegaard. He'll put Kai Havertz in there. He'll put Eze on the left, or he'll bench him. He'll bring Kai Havertz off and he'll put Gyökeres on for the last 10 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes. You got Saka dropping a stinker when he's still on the bench. Doesn't want to change anything. Doesn't want to bring Saka into a central role. Doesn't want to mix it up a little bit. And he went on the defensive. He went on the defensive against 10 men. And I'll end on this because what really frustrates me is that they're now trying to gloss over a draw as if it's a good result. For me, you're playing against 10 men. And when this team has been put on a pedestal and you're getting rammed down your throat week in, week out, best team in the world, best team in Europe, world-class players, world-class this, world-class manager, a magician, a genius.
We're going to walk it.
You've had that time and time and time again. I'm sorry, if you can't get over the line against 10 men, then it's points dropped.
Considering how long as well, D, if you include a bit of extra time and everything like that, we had the best part of 55, 60 minutes.
We
went off on the 38th, and then I think there was 5 minutes of extra time and 4 in the other. So the best part of half an hour.
38th minute.
Yeah.
And if it was, I was expecting to see, when he came out the second half, I was expecting to see 3 subs on the line waiting to come on.
Yep.
I was expecting Chelsea to look on that line and go, oh, shit. Look, they're bringing on Odegaard. They're bringing
they
on
made the attacking sub, DJ. Chelsea made the attacking sub.
They made 2.
What did he do? Brings on Skelly.
Chelsea brought on Garnacho and Delap.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. What did Chelsea do? Chelsea brings on Garnacho. Chelsea bring on attacking players with 10 men.
I thought you weren't allowed to do that, though. I thought you weren't allowed to have an attacking intent when you're down to 10 men.
And
ain't that against the Premier League rules?
Exactly. But this is Aaron, Chat, Shane, Nonsky, and we've all been saying it. This is what worries me going forward. I've not been getting excited. I've been over the moon that we're top. I've been over the moon that we're top of the league. We beat Bayern Munich. Of course I'm happy. Of course I am. But am I excited? Is there still doubt in my mind? You bet there is. You bet there is. And that was evident against Sunderland, and it was evident again today. And I just land on this. We have played our top 3 so-called challengers to the Premiership. Liverpool lost. Man City at home drew. Chelsea away drew. 2 points out of 9. 2 points out of 9. And you're telling me this team's gonna? You telling me that you want to trust the manager?
Yeah.
Come and chat to me in March, April time, and then I'll make a decision then.
Just quickly before I bring somebody's comments up or whatever. You're like me. I think we're quite similar in that we're sort of holding back and hesitating. And do you know what? I think the last thing for me and you to get excited or get that feeling is that internal feeling. And you're right to say, you're looking at what's going on now and you're happy. Of course we are. Why would we not be happy about being where we are in the Champions League? Why would 100%. We not be happy about where we are currently 5 points ahead? I wouldn't have thought that we would have been that after 13 games. So that's cool. But now we've got the context of all the season, haven't we? And it doesn't fill me with that much confidence. I'm waiting for that moment of where, you sit in the stadium, we're sat in our seats, or for people, they're sat in their chair or they're sat down the pub with their mates, wherever you're watching the game, and go, do you know what? That's the team that's going to win the league this year. I haven't got that feeling yet. I'm quite happy. I think all of us on this panel and in this chat are definitely all still quite rightfully, may I add, cautious. Waiting for the season to go on to see how it pans out because we've been hurt, this, that, or blah, blah, blah. But I just want to sit there, whether it be in my seat at the Emirates and just go, yeah, do you know what, man? That's that. I want that feeling inside. When you just go, yeah, we've had that feeling. I definitely had that feeling in the leagues I can mostly remember when we've won in 98, 02 and 04. When you just look and go, yeah, we're the best. We are the best, and there is absolutely no stopping us. We are going to win this title, and I'll say it on match day 20. I'll say it on match day 30, and by the time match day 38 rolls around, we celebrated the league 3-4 games ago. I'm waiting for that feeling, and I feel like I'm quite well within my right to just not have that feeling yet, and I want to wait on that because I know when I do get that feeling, reality is we probably will go on and win the league, and that's not to say that my feeling is the be all and end all of whether we will or will not win the league. But when I get that, we probably will be extremely close. Big up to Southern Gooner as well, man.
Yeah.
For realist. Oh, come on, man. Coming from you, Matty. Come on.
The boogeyman is the Kai Havertz. Enter Kai Havertz, mate. He's on his way back.
He's been saying it.
Expect more matches like yesterday to come. Do you know what? Sadly, that last sentence absolutely petrifies me. It absolutely shakes me to my very, very, very core. That last bit. Expect more matches like yesterday to come because I know that you're right, Matty. Big up to Mama Flossie as well, my girl. Number one, my chief mod. Hope you are well, my girl. It's been a little while. I'll see you in a couple of little chats as well. So it's always a pleasure to have you here, my girl. Respect to always. Yeah, Shane, man. It's a very cowardly. Let me start from this angle. Me and you had a little chat, didn't we, on the phone today for about 10 or 15 minutes, and we went through it. I want to talk. Obviously, I want to get your thoughts on the game. And then after that, I want you to hyper focus a little bit into some individual performances. And I want you to eventually get to the Zubimendi thing, but because we all know why. Yeah, and there's shakes of the head on the panel. Yeah, and I ain't even said a word. Yeah, as soon as I said "Zer," everyone started shaking their nut. Yeah, man. So coward performance, 10 men. A lot really that wasn't right in there. There's a lot to dissect about that game, and people are going, "Oh, it's a good point at this and all that." Down the line, maybe it will look to be at a point. We don't know on match day 13. But as far as I'm concerned, from Sunday and Monday, it's not looking like a very good point. It's looking like 2 drops, and it's shame.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. I listened to Canton for some reason for 10 minutes this morning, and he dressed it up with, we've only had a few draws in the last 16 games, and everybody's this and that and everything. And I put in a comment going, no, it's very easy to dress it up that way. There's another way of putting it. We've had 2 draws in the last 3 league games. That's another way of looking at it, that we've had 2 and 3, that we are stumbling now, that the mentality is a problem. I said before the Tottenham game that Calafiori was sent home by Italy with several injuries from Arteta's mouth. He then didn't train the week before that. He didn't train the week before the match. So 2 weeks without training. I said, if he touches grass against Tottenham, never mind starts, I don't want to ever hear injuries as an excuse. I don't want to hear that Saliba and Gabriel were out. I don't want to hear any of that shit. These injuries come down to this manager. Saliba, he lied again. He said he picked up a knock in training the day before. It's coming out now that he was feeling it during the Bayern game. That's what he was feeling during the Bayern game. But then he trained on it and it got worse, right? So he lied about it getting a knock because I knew he lied. I said at the exact same time I heard it, I said, there was no way that this guy who would take Saliba at Anfield, see him get carried off the pitch in the pre-match warm-up by 2 physios and then start them, is going to go, did you get a little knock? Yeah, do you know what? Take the Chelsea game off even with Gabriel out. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. It has to be an injury, right? Another fatigue injury. I would put any money right now. We'll probably never get the truth, but it's a flare-up of his ankle that hasn't healed properly yet because he keeps rushing him back. And he'll rush him back again. And he'll rush him back again. So I don't want to hear anything about injuries. Everybody's saying it's a good point. No, it's not. It's a terrible point. It's an awful point. It's a point against one of the youngest teams in the league that put us to the sword with 11 men and put us to the sword with 10 men. When they went down to 10 men, they lost a midfielder against the best midfield in the world. The best midfield in the world. They didn't even sub on another midfielder. They just left 2. And one of them was a right back. And they still bossed the midfield. You know what I mean? This manager cannot read in game. It has to be luck now against Bayern. It has to be, because if you stack up all the times he gets it wrong, he just stumbled upon it, because this guy is tactically inept, and I'll never have it said any other way. When I was talking about, if we go and beat Chelsea and beat them comfortably now, then I'll allow myself to start believing that we are in a title race, right? The others are so far ahead of us that the title's already won. Never mind accepting that we're in. There's so many steps to go, thinking we're going to win the league, from believing that we're in a title race. Then you have to believe that, we're one of the favourites. Then you have to believe there's a lot of steps to go. And I only got my foot on the first one, and he left a banana peel there for me. Of course he did. It's Mikel Arteta. But if we look at the players, Martinelli again, he's not a starter. He's just not a starter. He gets found out. The 2 centre-backs did okay. They weren't great. They did okay. Timber looks tired now. He's starting to tire the last couple of games, and I can't blame him. He's been flogged.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly's fallen off a cliff. Why? Because he's young and he's played out of position, and his confidence is absolutely shattered. All because of this manager again, who just dropped him unceremoniously, booted him out of the team, gave him microwave minutes, and now his confidence is shattered. Zubamendi is a shambles in the Premier League. In the Champions League, he's fine. Gets a lot of time on the ball.
Yeah.
If he can learn to use that high press, I've said it before, and spin the first man and stuff like that, he could be all right. But he's not bothered. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a red card waiting to happen. And I'm talking 2 yellows. He was lucky. He got subbed off then and had a face on him after having an absolute nightmare. Declan Rice was decent. He was industrious, but he didn't do much going forward. Odegaard, man. I lost count of how many times he lost the ball when he came on. He just gave the ball away time after time after time. There was a moment where we headed the ball clear and it bounced to him inside his own half. And he punted it into their half up in the air like we were down to 10 men and we were defending, holding on to a goal. I couldn't believe what I saw. First thing he did, and my missus despises him and Marino, but him especially. As soon as he came on, she went, there it is now, the game's gone. She knew it was gone. It's going to slow down. The first thing he did, he got the ball, he ran forward with it looking busy, and we said, here comes the scoop. There it was. Little scoop, straight into the keeper. Always coming. The guy's a waste of space. He is just a defensive midfielder. That's all he is now. He's just a fancy defensive midfielder. Eze, fair enough, he wasn't doing much, but he just got a hat-trick against Tottenham, and he got a wonderful assist against Bayern. Against City and against Bayern, in the last minute, he played a ball over the top that set up Martinelli twice for goals. So that's who you take off when you need a goal. Even if he's not playing well, he's the man that'll do it. He's the man that'll shift the ball inside and slap it.
After you've just bought the striker on, that runs off the shoulder. You bring the only player off that can make that pass.
I actually laughed.
He's the full guy for Odegaard.
Yeah. But I actually laughed like I was going insane when I saw. I turned around and went, he's putting Marino in midfield. He's actually putting Marino in there. I couldn't believe it. But I could. That was the thing. I could believe it, but I couldn't believe it. Right, so then he puts Madueke out the left. The guy's not a left winger. Never will be. Never going to be. He's barely a right winger. He's barely a right winger. He's barely a right winger, okay? So we finished against 10 men, right, with the same formation in a game that people go, it's a good point. We're 5 points clear. If you win that game, you bury Chelsea. That's what they don't get. There's a mental side to it as well. You win that game on their patch and go 9 points clear. You bury them, have any hope of them winning. But they're not going to win the league. Right. Well, stranger things have happened. You may as well bury them when you get the chance. They were down to 10 men after 30-odd minutes. If you add on injury time, it was well over an hour to take these guys apart. And they had more chances than us. With 2 men in midfield against our 3 best midfielders in the world. The funny thing is that the last 2 weeks, I've spent every show mentioning City and Chelsea's rotation. Look at the way they rotate. All the players are fresh. That is why when they went down to 10 men, they still had more legs than our 11 men, because our 11 men were absolutely shattered. Theirs weren't. They rested both forward players against Barcelona, man. They rested Caicedo for a full 90 the week before. All of their players were fresh. All of them. And all our players are run into the ground. And if, like I said, I'm finishing this, we finished that game against 10 men, against a team that you can put to bed with the same formation, same 4 at the back, 2 defensive midfielders, and a 10 that's Odegaard. So basically 3 defensive midfielders, a winger out of position, a winger on the right whose career may as well be written off at this point, and Gyökeres who's just come back from injury. We had Ethan on the bench. We had Eze taken off the pitch. All these match winners taken off the pitch. Take a defender off. If you want to leave Marino
go 3 at the back, mate. Just
go 3 at the back. They only had 3 players up front. Go 3 at the back.
Yep.
Leave Marino up front if you want to with Gyökeres, put 2 up front. Leave Eze on. Leave Odegaard on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so
3-5-2.
many.
3-5-2.
Yeah, but he's thinking, if they counterattack and win, though, what is the fucking point? Anybody ever blames injuries again? I don't want to hear it. He has caused 90% of these injuries. He'll continue to cause 90% of these injuries. He doesn't know how to use attacking players. He's ruined Saka. He's ruined Ben White. He's ruined Tomiyasu, and he's ruined Jesus. The guy is a psychopath. And when I was saying that, I'll allow myself to believe, it was always caveated with, but this guy is our manager at the end of the day, right? Until he goes, we ain't winning shit, man. Until he goes, we ain't winning a fucking thing. City
before Normski comes in, Shane, Aaron, right? Here's some stats here from yesterday, right? Total shots. Chelsea had 11, we had 8. Shots on target, Chelsea had 4, we had 4. Right? So after that, and their GA weren't that far. If anyone's interested in GA, I don't give a monkeys. But when you look at that,
me neither.
They had 11 shots and we had 8. Who had 10 men? I can't remember.
Yeah.
You'd have
thought
most of them all without 10 men as well.
Yeah.
They had most of them all without 10
8 shots against 10 men. That's alarming enough.
Yeah, it's poor. Do you know what? I was going to bring this in for Normski because you both started to say about the 3-5-2, and AFC always put a question in. I'll get to that in 2 seconds, so we'll have a little chat about that amongst so many things that were wrong with Sunday's game. But first off, Mama Flossie, big up, member for 7 months as well. My first ever subscriber was Mama Flossie, so big up to you, my dear. And just saying, big up Aaron and panel, big up to you, my dear. We got Dazza as well, big up Dow, man. We got a Dow member for 6 months, big up to Dow, man. DJB, I want to see G14 and 29 together in a cheeky little 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1. I don't know.
Not brave enough.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely not brave enough. That goes against everything, really, doesn't it, for Arteta? That goes out of the structures that he'll only have. It's almost like he's what's it? Sort of like is it a form of like an autism or something like that, where you just cannot break sort of a certain barrier. You've got a certain way of doing things, and that's sort of that. I know my boy, my son's autistic. He does one thing one way. And that is absolutely that. He will not go any other way. And that's a little bit. Mikel Arteta shows them same sort of traits, doesn't he? Big up to Lawrence as well, man. I hope you're doing good, my friend. If Tom Teta had the likes of, and how many times have we said this as well, by the way, boys? Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right, Lawrence. If he had the likes of Thierry Henry, this guy right up here, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Pires, old Freddie, he's got red hair, Patrick Vieira, that guy right up there. Tony Adams, Messi's and the Ronaldos and the Mbappes at his disposals, he would still manage to fuck it up. And do you know what? We say this sort of all the time, doesn't he? If he had all the best players on the planet, he still would. Do you know what? If he had that squad at his disposal, on top of any players he could cherry pick out this squad, I promise you, at the start of the season, even now, 5 points ahead, I still wouldn't be confident. I'm not even joking for joking sense. I would probably expect the individual quality of them players to shine it through. But that's that. I wouldn't look at it and go, do you know what? The reason why we won the league was because of the manager. I'd be going, it's probably because of them players listed right there. You probably wouldn't go, cool. Mikel Arteta and his quality man management and his rotational skills and this and all that and that sub against this. Oh, yeah, that won us the league. You'd be going, nah. Thierry Henry and Messi and Ronaldo and co. Absolutely destroying teams for fun. You make a good point, Lawrence. A big up to you, man. And you've come back in again with another one. Aaron, have we seen this movie before? We say this all the time. We've read the book, man. We've listened to this record over and over and over again. Man City's cut our lead from 7 to 5 points. Do you know what? Let's go in with that, and then we'll go to AFC always is. there's actually a good point in it, Norms. We've seen this all before in it. We have read this book that Lawrence is saying, man. Sadly, we know how it ends. We don't know it's going to end the same way. But for people that go, oh, you're negative, you're this, you're that. Well, we're 5 points clear. It was a good point. It was this, it was that, it was blah, blah, blah. This is because of this comment right here. We've seen it before way too many times for it to not play a factor in our decision for what we think is going to happen. Do you not think, Norms?
Yeah, but that's it. You've only got to look at history, and then it seems to be repeating itself, unfortunately. Just going back to
history repeated.
Just going back to Lawrence's previous super chat, and he was talking about the top class players there. I think they would just turn up and say, "Listen, I'd say just stay at home. Yeah, we'll deal with this. Yeah, we don't need you to be doing airplane whatever you're doing. Yeah, just you stay at home. We got this. As I say, we got this." You know, famous words of Tristan. We got this. You got this. You got this. But look, let's just go back to the point you was making. Yeah, we've seen it all before, and that's why we have these PTS moments. Yeah, because we know how the story ends, and we've seen this for the past 6 years. Yeah, and I looked at that game yesterday, and there was an opportunity missed yesterday. Right, there was an opportunity missed. But even bigger opportunity missed because the fact that Chelsea went down to 10 men. After 38 minutes, Caicedo, bad tackle on challenge on Moreno. At this point, you'd think, right, this is the time now where Arsenal needs to just step it up now and try and go for the jugular. This is what you need to do. And unfortunately, it was almost like it was Chelsea that got galvanized. Yeah. You know, if I just came on and turned that TV on, I would have just thought it was 11 against 11. Do you know what I mean? I would not know who had the man missing if there was a man missing because of the energy levels that this Chelsea side had. Shay made a very good point, and we talked about this in the week when we was talking about last week and on the phone and sending texts, you know, and saying, look, he's rested this player. He's rested this player for the Burnley game and that. So these players look rested because why Maresca knows what he's doing in terms of rotating that side. That's something, again, that Arteta needs to learn, right, about rotation. Because the problem is now, we're now going into a game that's going to be pressurized, which is the Brentford game at home. Yeah? And it means now he's not going to make the changes that we want to see. So he's going to go in with a strong team. Then we're going to go to Aston Villa, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Yeah? Declan Rice, I watched Declan Rice yesterday. Because the fact that we had two defenders that had not played much with each other, look, individually, they're okay, but as a pairing, they're not used to each other. So you got this feeling that Declan Rice was trying to also protect the back four because he was literally covering every blade of grass. So he wasn't effective going forward. Yeah? Even though probably out of all the team, he was probably still our best player. Yeah? Moreno, apart from scoring the goal, what does this guy do? We look disjointed. You know, just giving away passes. We just couldn't string two passes together. If we're meant to be the team that's meant to be going for the title, we're going to lay down a marker at Stamford Bridge, then we have to go there and do that. Now, listen, you look at our bench, you know, you had Glock, you had Jesus, you had what's his name? Who's the other guy? Ethan Manweri. You had a lot of attacking Odegaard, all of these attacking players, right? Fair play. We had these attacking players. Now, at this point, okay, you think, right, second half he comes out, you're thinking he has to make changes. You know, you have to make change up the formation. Yeah, go at Chelsea. Yeah, go 3 men at the back, flood that midfield with attacking players. But no, he doesn't do that. He drops Moreno in the midfield, takes Eze off. Yeah, no, I wasn't happy with Eze. I didn't think Eze had a great game. He didn't impose himself. Looked lost at times, but as people said, he has that moments of brilliance. And that was one that was taken away from us. Odegaard comes on, and Odegaard does what Odegaard does. I mean, the first thing he does, he came on, you know, doing his busyness, spinning around, Kylie Minogue and all of that. You know, I was even getting dizzy watching him. Yeah? And then he then does this famous scoop ball that only Eze can do. You can't do it because it ain't going to get to your man. Then all of a sudden, all you saw in the end was spam crosses in. Sanchez just was catching the ball. Yeah, all day. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, Saka. Yeah, Saka has literally, unfortunately, because of this injury, and this is because of Arteta, he's not the same. And so he can't beat a player. Sometimes he'll have 2 men on him. He can't beat. I know people were saying that he twisted up Cucurella and all of that, blah, blah, whatever. But at the end of the day, his decision making. Some people were saying about he was greedy. When he needed to pass, he didn't pass. When he was needed to pass, he shot a couple of balls over the top and stuff like that. And it's because now his game is limited. And I was listening to somebody today, I can't remember who it was, and they were saying it might be better if he's played, as maybe a false 9. Where he hasn't do much running. I think it might have been DJB might have been saying it on Lee's show. Actually, it was Kenny Kane. Big up to Kenny Kane. He was saying it. Very good point. Playing him in that either false 9 or a 10. Yeah, because whilst he's playing out on the wing, he has to do a lot of running up and down, and he's not effective. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're looking at him, he just doesn't look. It doesn't look the same. It would have been better, as I said, to obviously he brought on Madueke, played him on the left. Not great on the left, and this is an occasion where he's coming back to his old club. You know what I mean? Go and do something. He didn't do anything. All the subs that came on yesterday, literally didn't make any difference.
No,
it didn't make one difference.
Not a shred of impact was there.
Not one shred of impact. We stayed with the same formation. Just said 4 at the back. What did we do? He just shuffled it. Yep, move it, and that was it. We didn't offer nothing. We get the goal. But at the end of the day, the only team that was in the ascendancy, and if they had the 11 men, they end up beating us. And then we're saying, oh, it's a good point, blah, blah, blah. If we're meant to be the best team in the world right now, the best team in Europe right now, then I don't want to hear about, oh, it's a great point that we got. I don't want to hear that. We should be going there, laying down a marker. And the problem is now, yes, we might have, it's as we were with Chelsea, but there's a blue shark sitting there waiting, probably going to sniff blood again, and we've given that opportunity for them to sniff blood again. Liverpool went and got a result against West Ham away, so we're 9 points there. Really, this Christmas period is going to be really key and essential that Arteta gets it right. I said it on many a show. He has to get it right in terms of his rotation. The problem is he's going to go into that Brentford game, and I don't think he's going to make much changes. And then he's going to go into the Aston Villa game, away, tough game. Look who you're going to be up against. Look at the midfield that you're going to be up against, mate. Yeah, Declan-wise, he's going to be absolutely knackered. I would have liked to have seen maybe in the Brentford game for some change. Play Ben White at right back, give some rest to Timber because he's going to go. Yeah, he's probably in the red. He's probably going to go. You can bring on, who else can you bring in there? You can try Miles Lewis again. I know he's not having his best game, but the problem is that Calafiori is one yellow card away from a ban. So I wouldn't play him. I would not play him in this game that's coming up this Wednesday. I'd rest him and play him in the Aston Villa game, because if he ends up getting a yellow card, that's Miles Lewis Skelly going up there, and because he has not much minutes, you can see and you can tell he's not a left back. And unfortunately, because he hasn't had the minutes and because the way Arteta's treated him, we're in a situation where every time he comes on that pitch, he gives a stinker. The Bayern Munich game and this game. So look, this is where the opportunity is being missed. It's a massive opportunity that's been missed. We didn't go down there and lay a marker. We literally went down there and played as if to say, oh, we've got this game sewn up. It's just the football was slow. It was lackluster, frustrating to watch. And, Arteta turned around, in his post-match and sort of saying, what did you say to them at halftime? What I said to them, now we have to go for it now. I didn't see anything. I did not see anything. So what this guy's talking about, we dominated. No, he didn't. Chelsea dominated. Even with 10 men.
Man,
Chelsea. And I'll tell you why. Because Chelsea had 11 shots. We only had 8, 4 on targets for each one.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
What game is he watching? And unfortunately, you've got Martin Keown saying that Super Mendy,
he calls him.
Super. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Right, you got
Lee Dixon at Declan Rice ahead of Roy Keane, man. Come on,
his name should be fucking Super Bandy, honestly, mate. Honestly, them legs are just fucking like Bambi on ice.
Martin Keown was at Arsenal. He was one of them players. He used to wind me up.
Lastly,
I always loved him. I did love him.
Sorry, go on. Norm's land. I'll get this from Suge, and then I'll take it another way. Yeah, go on.
Aaron, If you
Go
had
on,
a choice of Caicedo or Zubimendi, who are you taking?
Oh, it's not even a question. Yeah.
DJB.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
are you taking?
Canton.
Caicedo.
Yeah.
Hence
Without
why
I'm taking Reece James over Zubimendi.
Yeah.
Did you see that? He dominated
Canton
midfield.
picked Zubimendi over Caicedo. Caicedo is sort of what way would Zippy put it? He is our what do you use a word that isn't him saying it, but he's quite commonly known as the best DM around.
What do they
That's
see,
what a lot
though?
of people would
Because
say.
these have seen the
They
likes
don't see anything, DJ.
They at this football club.
They're saying it's all great, then they deal with it later. That's what they say. We had, sack the ref. Yeah, we had all that. What do you mean the ref? Did he send off our player? He sent off their player. They just have to blame something.
What do you mean sack the ref? They were yellow cards. Hands down, they were yellow cards.
And all deserved, by the way. Dan, by the way, I did want to put this in. Did anyone notice in the first half we got a throw in just inside our half, inside the halfway line, right? And just for the sake of 5 yards, this cheating scumbag kicked it up the line. Then he told Timber to take a few yards, and the ref rightly reversed the throw over to them.
Yeah.
That 5 yards that he kicked the ball made absolutely no difference.
He made a foul throw and he let him get away with it.
Yeah, I know. My son said it. My son said, "What do you think? That's a foul throw."
Yeah, you even had the crowd shout that, didn't you? You had the crowd shout foul throw, didn't you? Yeah.
But when he stole that 5 yards, he does it every time. What is the point in that 5 yards? There is no point in it. It's on the halfway line.
In Cappy's elbow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna. I had a backwards and forward with a Chelsea guy that comes on my stream on the podcast, and look, he was talking about the Caicedo incident where you know he was saying you look at the Bentancur one on Reece James. He's saying there just needs to be some like level playing field there because you can't be not giving a red card for that one.
Consistency is fair.
With the Nkappi challenge, I didn't feel it was a yellow card. I didn't think it was a red card because of the way when he jumped, he's jumped and he's come down. Obviously, he's come up with
But he never even got a yellow card for it, though, Norms, did he?
I thought he got a yellow card.
I don't think he got a yellow card for it.
I might be mistaken. I'm
sorry. He did get a yellow card.
Nkappi got a yellow card for the elbow.
Did he get a yellow card for it?
It
would have been a harsh red. It would have been.
He just jumped and he just caught him. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I think that's fair. I don't think there was
Timber
any.
Timber got away with a second yellow a couple of times. Timber did get away with a second yellow.
You can't say the ref was this and the ref was that.
No. Look, he's not the best. He's not the best of all.
And that first half, by the way, in the way both teams were cheating, was an absolute disgrace. That was an absolute
rolling around. You spoke about it in the morning, didn't we?
Even when the halftime whistle went, as soon as the halftime whistle went, Mascara was in the corner and he flopped to the ground, rolled around screaming. And then the red goes for halftime and he just jumps back up and just. They were all at it. Both teams were just ashamed of themselves.
Sorry, just to cut in. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. You know the challenge when Gokares went for that 50-50 ball and
on the keeper.
Now, if you look, it looked like, well, obviously, you saw Sanchez, he looked like he'd been shot with a double barrel shotgun in his chest. He's like, listen, when you see, he literally, his foot was nowhere near his chest.
Yeah.
It was nowhere near his chest. You saw it in slow motion. Then 2 seconds later, he's up.
But the thing is, with all the players cheating, when you see your own manager kick the ball up to get 5 yards on a throw, what are the players going to do? You know what I mean? He's the example.
Did any of you take note of obviously the Chelsea goal scorer? So in the first half, he's had the knock on his head. And he's rolling around like a salmon out of water, like he's been shot. Yeah. And then he scores the goal, and he's like,
No, you don't get to do that, mate. I heard your scream through the TV.
The geezer's like 6 foot something. The geezer's like 6 foot something. He's got the smallest set of arms I've ever seen in my life. And he's going.
I will say it.
He was rolling around for about 20 minutes.
I've got to be honest. That was one of the best midfield. That was one of the best midfield displays I saw this Premiership season out of Reece James. I thought he was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
I thought Reece James was absolutely
two of them together. Enzo and him were phenomenal. There was 2 of them against 3 of us, and they outplayed.
You know what I mean?
But
this is the partnership you want to see Zubimendi and Rice. But for me, Rice made 3 or 4 really important interceptions. They were just about to pull the trigger, and he was in there.
That's what Zubimendi should be doing, though.
And that should be Zubimendi's job. Zubimendi comes off fresh as a daisy. Rice can just about get off the field.
Mm-hmm. Mate, Zubimendi, that fucker's always watching outside the box. He's never inside the box, mate.
He's that guy.
And I brought this up on my channel yesterday, right? Can you imagine? Look at how Zubimendi was yesterday in that game. And you're going to get more games. Aston Villa next week is going to be very similar. Very similar. Yeah. Right?
They're going to press him.
Aston Villa's going to be very, very similar.
They're going to beat us.
Now, can you imagine if those tackles flying in yesterday, Rice gets tackled and goes down injured?
We're done.
What does he do? I'll tell you what he would have done. He's got two options. You bring Marino in midfield, which is an absolute nightmare.
That's what he's
Or you bring on Norgard. Now you've got Zubimendi. You've got Zubimendi and Norgard, or Zubimendi and Marino as your
midfield. And Odegaard.
No legs, no energy.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that this squad depth is good enough to win the league. Just imagine that midfield coming out against Aston Villa on Saturday.
Do you know what I said earlier, DJ?
Go on, Shane.
Sorry, I'll be really quick about resting Rice. People were saying, "Oh, well, you can't rest your best player for this game, and you can't rest him for that game." And I said, "Well, we could have rested him against Olympiacos. We could have rested him against Slavia Prague. We could have rested him. He came on in both League Cup games, by the way.
Tottenham, he played 90-odd minutes. He played the full game. 4-0 up.
Could have rested him against Burnley. Could have rested him against Forest. I'm saying all of those games where you could take 3 of them.
Munich could have bought him off at 3-0.
Yeah. You could have rested him for 3 of them, right? But my point is, would you rather Declan Rice be rested for 3 easy games throughout the season, or have him injured for 2 months? You know what I mean? Like it's not an easy decision. And with Zubimendi, he is that guy that is shit a pool when he plays doubles with you, and you keep clearing up. And every time you win, he's the one getting in the other lad's faces.
That's the one when you're in the pub and you got 20.
But you did nothing, mate. You did absolutely nothing. I just did everything.
Yeah. And the only good thing he's done is broke. And then you come along
and then you've cleared up, and then he's like, in the other lad's face.
Right, just quickly, I did want to say big up to everyone in the chat. Smash the likes and don't forget to sub to the panel. Big up to Jam, boy. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Hope you're doing good, my friend. And of course, Normski was talking, and this covered him. So while he was talking, I thought I'd show a bit of respect and took it down so we could see him. But we got Suge, and he's obviously being as double polite as he always is. And he's saying big up to the guy that if he went to the gym every day, he'd look like a beanbag kid sit on. That'd be me. Adam. Thank you very much. The guy who that uncle would tickle you through the window. Ooh, that's old tickle me hand, Shane. Big up to you, brother. And then the legends. That is DJB right down there. And the legend, that is Normski right there. And the legendary chat, that is to our right. Hit the likes and the cheeky sub. Now you're absolutely spot on there. I'll try to be less beanbag-esque for you, Suge. I promise you. I will shake that off. I'm doing all my best. But big up to you, Suge, man. And we'll get the other couple in a second once it fits in what we're going to say. But one of the points I did want to make as well, boys, about the season in general. And of course, it was only last game, so I will put the brakes on it. I don't want people to get carried away. Some of them in the chat, but at the start of the season and many parts of the season, we've had a lot of players either on form, playing out their skin, or ticking over nicely as a 7 or 8. The worrying thing for me yesterday, boys, was that when you went through the team, David Raya, all right, didn't really have horrendous amounts to do or whatever, but Timber started looking a little bit tired. I think Shane alluded to that quite correctly. You had Mosquera and Hincapi. They sort of, we sort of see from them what we saw at Brighton. A bit of a dodgy-ish sort of start, a little bit of an uncertain start, and that's fine. I do totally get that. They'd only played 80 minutes together prior. You can appreciate that they're not going to be as good as a Saliba or a Timber. Or a Gabriel. But you had the Calafiori, didn't really look right. MLS, when he come on, didn't really look good. Eze, out of form again, didn't impact much. Zubimendi had an absolute stinker, probably his worst game for Arsenal. Declan Rice was still the best player, of probably either in the team or the midfield. Didn't have that oomph because he was probably shattered. Saka, by nowhere near his form. Marino, absolute anonymous bar the goal when he went into midfield. Absolutely shocking. Gabriel Martinelli, if this game proves to anyone that he is an impact sub at best, then I don't know what game will. The point I'm trying to round this up is I hope this isn't the start of a downwards turn in form. I hope this isn't where they start to go down in form and plateau a little bit. And, we've got some tricky games coming up. The Brentfords, I don't want us to struggle against that. Then we're going to have to get back up for Aston Villa away. That's going to be tricky. Then we're away in Europe. Is it possibly a worrying sign, DJB? That, and I know it's only one game, so, we'll have to remember that. But could this sort of be the start downturn in players' forms, players' fitnesses, just generally how well they're performing on the pitch? I hope not. I hope not, but it's worth looking at. We had everyone playing out their skins, or they were on form, or the vast majority, and it sort of went a little bit downhill yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, I think the problem is with the manager, and me and Kenny says it. He sticks to what he knows, and what he knows is Declan Rice, Saka and Saliba and Gabriel when they're fully fit, Saka on the right, Zubimendi. And that is his spine. He'll stick to his spine week in, week out, week in, week out. Timber as well, right? That's his spine. That's his team. That is what he thinks is going to get him success this season. So he's going to play it week in, week out, week in, week out, week in, week out. If they're carrying injuries, doesn't matter. As long as they get the okay from the medical staff, they're out there, right? Yeah. And that's worrying. So eventually, you will see form dips and highs and lows. And you say only one game, but if you look on the league performances, the first game of the season, Man United, we were shocking. Liverpool, we didn't really play well. Man City was bitty. Leeds, first half was shocking. Yeah. So West Ham was poor, but it weren't brilliant performance. We got the job done, but it weren't fantastic. So there's still a lot of games where in the final third, our attacking final third has not been where it should be. We've relied a lot on set pieces, and it's our set pieces that have put us to the top of the league and our defensive unit. But going forward in that final third, it's been a bit hit and miss. It's been very, very hit and miss. It's been little bits here and little bits there. It hasn't been really free-flowing all season. And it proved it again yesterday. And I always say this, if you're going to win a title, you can't have players in and out of form. You can't have players go 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 one game and then drop down to 5 and 6 the next game. They've got to be in and around that 8 out of 10, game in, game out, game in, game out. Because if you're not, teams are not going to show you any respect. When you've put yourself up there on a pedestal, and these teams watch media, they listen to it all. We went to Stamford Bridge yesterday, all in that Chelsea mind. World champions, won everything. They've absolutely won everything as a football club. And all they've heard all season is how brilliant this Arsenal team is. And we've rocked up and they've gone, yeah, all right, we'll see how brilliant you are. We'll get into you. We'll see who's up for this.
They wanted it again, didn't they?
And
it's the same with Sunderland. They wanted it more than us.
And to be honest, we got out-muscled. And this is the problem. You can't have players go missing in big games. You can't have players go missing in big games. And it is worrying going forward because there's still a lot of cracks and there's still a lot of signs there from what we've seen in seasons gone by. I wasn't expecting us to win. I've got to be honest. I wasn't expecting us to win against Chelsea. There was something in me that said, I just don't fancy it. Because I just knew there was going to be this kind of attitude from Chelsea. And I was thinking, I don't think we're going to be up for it. I don't think we're going to stand up for it. And it proved it right. But what gets me going forward, Aaron, is he's going to stick to the same principle that he thinks is going to win him the Premier League. So when Havertz is back fit, he's already hinted that that's his number 9 and he didn't have him, right? He looks at Havertz as his number 9. That's how you don't look at Gyökeres as his number 9. You got to remember he wanted to sign The other guy that was Man United.
Sesko, yeah.
Sesko, right? So Havertz is coming into this team. Odegaard is going to go in the 10. And this team is not going to look much different to what it was last season and the season before. Because he still don't, as much as the fans say, oh, look at all this squad depth. Look what we had on the bench yesterday. Did he bring Wanyeri on? No. He'd rather stick Saka out there, dropping stinkers, than risk Wanyeri. Did he bring Jesus on? He could have put Jesus up front with Gyökeres, took a defender off.
Give him 15 minutes.
Give him 10 minutes. No. Because he's sticking to the principle. The problem is when the going gets tough and the tough gets going and the pressure's on, this guy will just stick to what he knows. This guy will just stick to what he knows. You know, it's like when you walk into a Chinese takeaway, isn't it? You know what you're going to order, you know? It's like you stick to what you know, don't you? You ain't going to...
Yeah, even though you look at the menu for 20 minutes.
If you're in a restaurant and you've never been there before, you kind of order what I'll have the chicken. I'll have the chicken. That'll do for me. Yeah, but the lamb, no, it's all right. I've not eaten here before. I'll bat safe and have the chicken. That's Arteta, mate. That's Arteta. He just sticks to what he knows. And unfortunately, it's going to be his downfall. It's going to be his downfall. Because you need someone to have that little bit of nous in big games yesterday. And I don't care what you say. I honestly believe that a Pep, an Ancelotti, and all the great managers we spoke about on Shane's fantastic topic show a couple of weeks back would have found a way to beat 10 men Chelsea. They'd have found a way to get over the line. They'd have pinned them back.
You would have had what you said, DJ. You would have had those 3 players lined up at halftime.
You'd have had the 3 players on the line at halftime. You'd have sent a message out. You'd have had them all lined up, waiting to go before the ball's kicked.
All the big hitters.
Chelsea would have come out and gone, fuck, we're in for an half now. Look,
Gyökeres, Jesus, and Wanyeri would have been standing there.
You've got Gyökeres, Jesus, and Wanyeri coming on. Hang on a minute, we're gonna have to change it a little bit. And not only that, by doing that, you're making the coach think. Now the coach is thinking, I was going to bring on Garnacho, but I think I'll have to bring on a defender now.
But Maresca did that to him. He brought on Delap and he brought on Garnacho, and he made it, changed it up.
He brings on Delap, he brings on Delap and Garnacho and made it. This is what I mean. You have to play mind games with your manager. You're coming out second half and you've got all your attacking men lined up, waiting to go. Let's go. You ain't bringing on Delap and Garnacho. You're making them think about something else. But when he sees Skelly comes on instead of Calafiori, and that's the only sub he's made at half time, he's thinking, right, let's go for it. Exactly what Sunderland done. When he bought on Mosquera, when we were 2-1 up, he sent a message to that manager and that coach on the Sunderland and to them players to say,
and the crowd,
and to say, they're holding on here. They're not up for it. Let's go for it. And he sent the same message out to the Chelsea manager yesterday when he didn't make the substitutions at half time.
And do you know what, DJ? It's funny that you say that because this morning I said on my show that some Arsenal fans, the vast majority of them, need to realise that top managers and top players, they don't view this guy the way they think they do. They don't view him as this mastermind tactician. They look at him, like you said in the Sunderland game, and go, this guy's a pussy.
Yeah.
If we put it to him, this guy's a pussy.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to look at him in the same light because he hasn't won anything.
Maresca would have told his players at a half time, they're there for the taking. What? There's 10 men. Fuck it, man. They're not going to come at us. Go at them. You'll get your chances. Soak it up and go at them. You'll get your chances.
Exactly. What you've done, you sent out the wrong message. You've sent out a negative message. You're sending out a message to them players and to the opposition, thinking, well, they're sitting back. I mean, you got to be more creative as well. And
do you know what it is? Sorry. Go on.
No, but Aaron, it's true what you said, mate. It is worrying. It is worrying. But you are going to get a dip in form in players because he sticks to the same players week in and week out. So you're going to get a drop in form because they're knackered. They're shot to pieces.
They are.
Shots to pieces.
Yeah. And I mean, I just think it's going to get. I just think it will get worse. We need a big performance, don't we? Don't we, Shane? I know you want to come in. We need a big performance, don't we? On Wednesday to sort of again put this out. But I don't want us to start getting to that team win one, draw one, win one, draw one. We said about the clusters, and okay, to be fair, he stopped that, by obviously beating Tottenham. But we're back to the draw now. We also can't afford to win, draw, win, draw, win, draw. And we've got Brentford. We need a big win, a big statement win, not only to give us 3 points, but to give us a bit of confidence to go to Villa Park. That's going to be another one where you can't really be drawing or can't really be losing because, like you say, it's the draws that kill you. I know you wanted to come in with a point, man. So
no, you're right. See, the thing with the Brentford game is that we're saying that it's not coming in clusters, but like I pointed out, the last 3 league games we've drawn 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've dropped 4 points. We've dropped 4 points from 9. So even if we beat Brentford and then draw or lose to Villa, we could have dropped, say, 6 or 7 points in 15. You know what I mean? So that's not league winning form. And Villa away, I keep saying that they have the best home record in the top 5 leagues of the last 28 games. I think they've won 24 and lost 1. And Emery has this guy's number. We know that. We'll go there, but and what we need to know as well is there's a 90% chance for me, depending on injuries, if someone picks up a knock, that Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard will either be starting against Brentford, but definitely Odegaard will be in against Villa. He will definitely be in against Villa, no doubt about it. But the point I wanted to get to about when we're saying about the attacking subs, I see all of these top gooners on channels. Hold that, yeah. United are shit, yeah. Amarin shit, yeah. All of that. Oh, what's he doing? He's playing against 10 men Everton and he's leaving 5 at the back. Oh, really? So you can get on him when he doesn't make an attacking substitution. They hold everybody else to the standards that they should hold as manager to. And I hold my club to higher standards because it's my club, like you do with your kids. You teach your kids manners. You're stricter with your kids. Like your grandparents, then they let you send your kids down to grandparents to getting away with murder. You go, hang on, I got the wooden spoon for doing that. What's going on here? Like, you know what I mean? That's what I say. You hold your own kids to higher standards. You hold your own team to higher standards, or else they run riot, man. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So why can they sit there and see everything that Amarin's doing wrong, and then this guy could take a shit on the sideline and they'd find a way to say, oh yeah, well that was a good idea. You know what I mean? They'd find a way to dress up anything that this guy does. So there's nothing wrong with calling it out. When we call out not rotating, it's because we know that Saliba's going to drop down. We know Gabriel's going to drop with an injury. We know Rice will soon. We know Timber will soon. Yeah. And when Timber goes down, Ben White's not built anymore to cover more than 3-4 games without dropping. It's going to be an absolute disaster. So it gets to me when they're able to see faults in other teams. It is kind of like that mate you have that gets with someone that treats him like utter shit and he can't see it. And all you see it, and you're sitting in the pub going, does he have another?
You need to leave her, mate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
she's no good for you, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. And he can't see it no matter what you say. No matter what you say to him, he goes, no. And it goes the other way, with the girl you work with turning up with a black guy. No, he told me he's going to change. He told me he's going to change. And then 2 weeks later, it's back again. But they can't see it. They're just so enamored by this guy. They're enamored. They're in love with him. They're in love with him. That's what it is. They're obsessed with him because nothing you can say can change your mind. And when you say something about him, they take it personally. You're not fit to wear the badge, and you're a disgrace.
Sister, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like Big Hero 6 said that. He said that we are a disgrace and not fit to wear the badge because of what? Did we piss on one of the statues, on the Henry statue? Did we say something about the history of the club? No. We said that Arteta is tactically inept. So he went from something like that about tactically inept, a nice little observation. It was proven then that weekend against Sunderland, I might add, that disgrace and not fit to wear the badge because you said something about the manager. I can say what I want about the manager. For all they know, he could end up, that yellow bar could be on Sky Sports more saying Mikel Arteta's being sacked because this stuff in his personal life has come out. He's been doing something egregious. What do you do then? I don't know the guy personally, and I want what's best for my club. It's the same with Saka. Drop him. He's not playing well enough. Drop him. You know what I mean? Drop him. Put Madueke in. Is Madueke the perfect fit? No, but he's playing better than Saka, so he plays. It's simple as that. I don't want Pincus saying, oh, well, you can't drop Saka because There's kids turning up with Saka number 7 on their jersey and they'll be disappointed. I don't care, man. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't all the happy family sort of stuff. So look, you know, yeah, let's be honest. It could be worse. Of course, it could be worse, but it could be a hell of a lot better as well. And I just don't see it ever being with this guy in charge. I mean, I'm just getting sick of it at this point. I really am. I don't know where we go from here, because I genuinely do think that we won't be top come Christmas. And I think as soon as we fall behind, we're finished with this guy. I really do. I think we're finished. And my biggest nightmare is that he ends up stinking a cup or something like that. Of course, I want to win a cup, but not if it means him staying for another 2 years. You know what I mean? That would be my cut-off point. If he wins a league, fine, perfect. Wins a Champions League, brilliant. But I don't want him just to stink a cup and that's it. You know, I'll celebrate the cup, I'll love it, but it will come with a punishment, if you know what I mean. Because someone came into my chat, and I'll finish on this morning, and said, "Oh, you see, this is the problem. The difference with City and Liverpool fans is that they back the manager no matter what." I said, hang on a second now. I said, Liverpool fans want to sack their manager who won the league last year. We don't want to sack our manager who won an FA Cup 6 years ago. There's a big difference, man. They will turn on their manager when it's time. But yeah, I just don't know where to go, man.
Yeah, man. It's a huge difference. You're absolutely right. Normski, man, I like this from Lawrence, man. He makes a good point. People forget that 35 years ago, we had Brian Marwood doing what Declan Rice is doing right now. I knew you boys would like this. Like this comment. He would take set pieces that Adam and Bold would flick on for Smith and Merson to nod in. Yeah, the old. It's actually a good sort of point. You guys will probably know a little bit better than I will throughout the age, but he makes a good point there, Lawrence, isn't he? Normski. It's actually
I mean,
a bang on comment.
I mean, unfortunately, we got fed our own medicine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we got our fed. It wasn't it. You know, whenever we conceded, you notice the camera doesn't ever go over to Jova, does it? It's only when we score those fantastic set pieces and all that. But we've conceded, a few goals from set pieces. So, you know what I mean? We need to watch that. I was just like looking at the table, and one of the problems and the worry for me is like what's probably going to kill us is because Arteta is set in his ways. Look, I'm looking at Liverpool. Liverpool have lost 6 games. They've lost 6 games. They've not drawn none. They've lost 6 games, and they're only 9 points behind us. Okay, we've drawn 3, lost 1. Right. The draws are going to kill us, just like last season where we drew 14 games. Yeah, of that 21 points was dropped from winning positions. Yeah, the problem is with Arteta's tactics and the way he's going into games, especially games that you should be, laying a marker and putting it down. The Sunderland game, right, where you're 2-1 up and then you drop deep, and then inevitably we end up drawing that game 2-2. The game against Chelsea yesterday. And the problem is that we're going to come into some of these games where I think we will draw more than we will lose. And I think that's what really is going to be our Achilles heel. We probably might not draw as much this season because we've got a slightly better side. But saying all of that, the way Arteta sets up and the way his in-game management and that, you look at the last 2 games, you think fantastic, but then he's gone into this game and he's just reverted back to type. It's like he's got no tactical, way of looking at this game and trying to change it and to really say, right, this is me going to lay down a marker. We go 9 points clear of Chelsea, 7 points clear of Man City, and then you have a little bit of confidence. But the problem is now we've drawn 3 games, and then you look through the league table. There's loads of people who've drawn, like for Chelsea, drawn 3 games. Aston Villa, Brighton, Sunderland, Man United, Force. As Liverpool have lost 6. And Liverpool have drawn 0. So the thing is, it's probably better that you lose a game rather than draw games, and I think that's the problem. What's going to be? I think we're going to draw far too many games, and I think that's the thing that's going to stop us from going on and
killed us last year, didn't it, Norms? Them draws. What did we get? 14 or something?
14 draws.
We lose something like 21 points. I might be wrong there. Didn't we lose something like 21 points from winning positions?
Yeah, but 14
something
draws.
horrendous like that. That's what kills you,
You win
mate.
you win 7 of those games, yeah. Turn 7 of those draws into wins, and then we push Liverpool for the title.
Yeah, you're right up there. Yeah, obviously, you know, Liverpool performed probably better in the last bit,
Yeah.
but then you've got title race on. That's a title race. You when you're getting 14s in there, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought I'd post that. Suge, I did write in the chats. I'll get yours after because the point you want to make ties me quite nicely into what I want to go to in a second. So I'm not skipping over it. It's just because this works better on the line. But yeah, Shane, they are in love with him. I thought I'd get this one up first because it was straight after what Shane said. They're in love with him, especially that pool boy who wants Arteta's baby. Lawrence, man, coming out with the fucking belters today, man. Fair dues to you, man. I know, yeah. What can you? But you know what? Yeah, I wanted to get this up before. Yeah, that tickled me a little bit, Lawrence. I'm not gonna lie. But we got these, obviously, the fixtures. I don't want to spend too much time on it, and I'll keep you in Normski if that's okay. Mate, it's quite a tricky run. You know, it's almost like one good, one bad, one good, one bad, one good, one bad, and by that I mean obviously by good, Brentford at home. I'm sorry, this is a bank of 3 points. Anything else is absolutely shambolic and unacceptable. And I'll just stick with the league. And then you got obviously this Villa away, 12:30. And this is where, again, I wanted to make a point again about the rotation. And Shane always says this as well. It's not just rotating in his last 3 games. It's the rotation of previous games that could have helped cope with this sort of fixture list. We've got the Wednesday, Sunday, and there was a few pit top gooners I see crying, absolutely crying, that they had an extra day's rest. Get over yourself. But we do have Wednesday and then Saturday. I know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Arteta said it in the press conference.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why. Because that's that, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Well,
I didn't even know. I know. I was
days.
just crying. Just get over.
2.5 days,
Do you know what I
mate.
mean? Get over yourself.
What about 2 3/4?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Every 2.5 days, guys.
All the way to the half an hour, innit? Do you know what I mean? Well, they had an extra 4 minutes to prepare. Like, what are we doing?
Oh,
Come on, bruv. Come on, man. Well, we got obviously Wednesday at 9:30, at 7:30. Do you reckon they're going to be crying that we missed out on the half an hour? Because the kickoff's usually at 8:00. Oh, damn you. How dare you prepare? How dare you make us lose half an hour? That's what cost us the game, by the way. If we lose to Aston Villa at 12:30, it'd be because we didn't kick off at 8:00 for Brentford. Damn that half an hour. But look, it's a tricky one in the morning on the Saturday. You sit there and think, man, like you're gonna be having this game here. We should steamroller them, and then you're gonna be really probably quite suffering. I hate the early kickoffs and all. I hate them early Saturday kickoffs. I don't know why I've programmed it into my head that we don't usually do well with them. Maybe it's because we don't. And then we've got another game. I'm sorry, we should be steamrolling right here.
Have to.
And then I know we don't. Yeah, and then a real tricky one. This.
Yeah.
A real tricky one, this, and then obviously that's a bit of a Carabao Cup. And then we've got what I believe should be more of a comfortable one, but we've struggled with Brighton at home, especially in the Premier League in the past. We really haven't done well against them for a large sort of length of time. And then, of course, this is going to be a double tricky one. It's just almost, you think it's all right. You get a bit of respite, and then you got a tricky game. You get a bit of respite, and you got a bit of a tricky game. This is a lot to negotiate, this fixtures, Normski, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, exclude the Bruges. Obviously, you're going to have to negotiate them. Just exclude Bruges and Crystal Palace in a minute and just stick to the league. It's a little bit good, bad, good, bad, good, bad.
Yeah, it is. But if we're this so-called top team, then we've got to be going and putting these teams away. Now, look, our Aston Villa, we're playing them twice, and they are playing really well, and Unai Emery's got basically Arteta's number. You're going up against likes of Yuri Tillemans, Kamara, all Rodgers. These guys have got legs. Anana, these guys have got legs, mate. You know what I mean? And I think they've got a much deeper midfield than we have in terms of quality. And we're obviously playing them twice. So I expect us, just looking at that, if we just roll it up there, the Brentford game, we should win that. But you know, the thing, what Brentford are going to come, they've got Thiago guy who's banged 11 goals.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got to watch that.
He's on form, mate. Yeah,
he's on form.
More than any of our players scored last season.
Look at that. And you know, they're going to come with a different tactics. You know what I mean? They're going to be going with the long ball stuff, and they're going to be quite physical as well. So, but we're at home. You know, no excuses. Then obviously, could you just roll that up, Aaron? I can see that, so I can.
I can indeed. Sorry, bud.
Sorry. And then obviously, we go away to Club Bruges, which who did they beat the other day? Who did they beat? Did they beat somebody the other day? They're not going to be an easy side.
It'll be a tricky fixture for sure.
Yeah, it's
I can't think they beat. I'll be lying if I did. But
yeah, and then I'm sure there's a game they did win. I don't know if it was their last game, the game before. But then Arsenal gets Wolves. We have to beat them. You know, this Wolves sitting literally holding up the table. We have to win that. And then you've got a bit of a tricky fixture going away to Everton. Look, you know, Newcastle went there and put 4 past them. They were absolutely terrible, to be honest. But we can't take that for granted. You know what I mean? We got to go there.
Same 3-0 with Barca.
Exactly. The thing is that if other sides can, like I said, if Sunderland can go to Chelsea and beat them, with their 11 men, and we can't go to Chelsea and beat them with 10 men, do you know what I mean? There's something mentally going on there. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, if we want to come at this Christmas period top, then these games, we have to win all these games. I don't want to see no draws in there.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. You know what I mean? The tough games are going to be the Aston Villa game because we're playing twice. The Everton game, going away to Everton. Brighton, as I say, they can be tricky. And then I think just coming out to the last part of the Christmas period. Yeah. So Arsenal, Brighton. And then we've got chucked in the middle of that, a Carabao Cup quarterfinals. Yep. We need to win that, get to the semi-finals. We need to win a cup and just give us a little bit of momentum, you know, going into the new year. We'll see what happens there, but it's not going to be easy. But you know, hopefully, most of our players were back. The only problem is Havertz probably won't be back until the end of December, and we don't know how long it's going to be before we see Gabriel Magalhaes. And the William Saliba situation, we don't know. He's going to have I think he's going to have. I don't know if it's a scan or they're going to do some tests or whatever. So normally, what happens is when he says that, expect him to be out for a month.
Norms. I know. Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? Yeah. Don't be surprised. Basically, is what you're saying, isn't it? Listen, man, we've got 6 Premier League fixtures there, Norms. We've had a little look at them. Obviously, that means an 18-point availability.
You're going to ask me.
I am going to ask you, and then we're going to push the question back over to DJB and, of course, to Shane.
How many points?
This is all the way. This is our December fixtures, gentlemen, or our remaining December fixtures, of course. Yeah. We've got Brentford at home, Aston Villa away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Brighton at home, and Aston Villa at home. We play 4 of the 6 at home. 2 of the away games being at Everton and Aston Villa, of course, not in that particular order. How many points are we getting out of them 18, Normski, before we switch over to DJB?
I'm going to say at home, I expect us to get 12 points. Yeah?
I'd say that's fair.
We're good at home. I expect us to get 12 points. Away, Aston Villa, early kickoff. Well, I'm going to have to say probably a loss.
You reckon we would? Yeah.
Say probably a loss. And then the Everton game. Oh boy. Let me see. Am I going to go for a draw?
So that would, if you was to, that would put us on 13. And assuming, of course, our Manchester City, our rivals win all of their games. We don't know that, but let's just say hypothetically, that would knock us down to second, most likely on goal difference.
Yeah.
Do you reckon we're going to get a draw at the new Everton gaff?
It just depends on what Everton turns up. I mean, and again, it's what Arsenal turns up there. I'd like to say we're going to go there and win, but jeez, I just think Everton might just put up a fight and we end up drawing that game. I think that
you're gonna go 13.
Yeah, I think the key game obviously is if we win that game away to Aston Villa, then I'm going to say okay, and then we'll see where we go from there. But for now, I'm going to say 13 out of the 18.
I'm going to, big up, man. I'm going to switch over to you, DJB, and I'm going to pin the same thing over to you, and I'm going to put a poll up in the chat. I'm intrigued. There's a few people posting in there. Big up to the chat, of course. Big up to James from E20. Big up to you, brother.
Big up, everyone. Yeah, big up E20.
I'm going to get a poll in the chat, and take it away, D.
I think after the Chelsea game, we should bounce back against Brentford. It's probably a nice game to play. Although Brentford are pretty tough, we've had some tough games at the Emirates with Brentford. It's not going to be easy, but I think we might just edge that one. Villa away, I think we're going to get done. Personally, I can't predict what by, but I think we're going to get done. I can see it being similar to the Chelsea game. I think there'll be a lot more. I think there'll be a lot more energy in their play in midfield. So if Saliba's not fully fit and we haven't got Gabriel and we go into that game with the two central defenders, I think Villa will exploit that. They'll get players running from deep. Morgan Rogers will run from deep from midfield. He'll get beyond our defence, and I think we'll find it hard to cope with that because Zubamendi's positional defensive skills won't run with him, so he'll be left free. We just concentrating on the Premiership.
Yeah, just the Premiership.
Yeah.
And the poll is up.
Wolves at home. Wolves at home. I think he can rotate a few. If there's players looking leggy, I think he can, try the likes of Jesus and Saka, and I still think we should be good enough to get over the line against Wolves. So that's 3-6. Everton's going to be a draw all day long. That'll be a draw. 7. Brighton at home, very good side, Brighton. Our bogey side as well. Welbeck's on fire. Who'd have thought I'd have said that, eh? Danny Welbeck. There you go.
Welbeck's on fire. Your defence is terrified, isn't it?
I'm telling you, Welbeck is on fire. Now, you got to remember, we're going into that Brighton game on the back of playing Everton away on the 20th. Then at home to Palace 3 days later. The manager's already got it in the players' heads that they don't get enough rest. So that's psychologically already in the players' head.
Yeah.
This is what the manager doesn't think about. Straight away, the players are now thinking, we're playing Everton, now we're playing Palace 3 days later. And then 4 days after that, we've got Brighton at home, who would have been rested over the Christmas period. I can see that being a draw.
Jesus.
So how many points we got that off? How many points is that now?
Wow.
So there's 10, and then I think we might get the revenge back on Villa at home and beat them. So I'm looking at 12, 13 points.
Yeah, you're going at the same sort of norms. And do you know? Actually, I'll wait till Shane's at his piece before I add that. Actually, yeah, I'll hold it. Shane, what are you what you sort of saying on this, my brother?
Yeah, like when I say that we won't be top by Christmas, I mean the Christmas period. So I do include January in that. I just mean that period. I always lump December, January together. It's just like one fucking moving nightmare where it's just game after game after game. When you're playing well, it's amazing, by the way. But when you've got a bleeding tyrant as a manager, it can be quite tiring. But I think we'll beat Brentford. I think we'll beat Brentford. Their away form's not great, but Thiago is going to cause us problems when he is going to target both of those defenders. He's going to target both of them, and if they get a lead, like you just don't know if he bashes through early on and slots the ball home, and the crowd goes quiet. Yeah. And Mikel can just hear me shouting from a distance, calling him a wanker. You don't know, but listen, it could rattle a few feathers. But I think we should. If we don't beat Brentford, then we're in real trouble. Real trouble.
Yeah.
There's no hiding it anymore. I do. I'm a DJ. I just cannot see us getting anything at Villa Park. If we do, that would be massive, by the way, because they're not just a bogey team; they're just a really good team, and their in form and their home form is astronomical. Then obviously the Champions League game doesn't matter. Who's it then after Villa again? It's
Wolves.
Palace, isn't it? Oh no, it's in the cup.
Wolves.
You scroll down there.
Wolves.
Wolves
Are home. Yeah, Wolves are home. I mean, that if that's not a trashing, and that's where we have to rest. By the way, we have to rest in it. Royce will play though. We know we will. Everton away. I'm with DJ. I worry about going there. They've been better against the big teams than they have been. It's been the teams in and around them where they've sort of taken their foot off the gas a little bit. The big games they've been fine because they have the players with pace that can counterattack the Grealishes, the Doys and all these lads that can attack with a bit of pace.
Sorry, Shane, and David Moyes has got this manager's number as well.
Oh, he has, yeah. All experienced managers do, DJ. And then obviously Palace in the cup is a different. And then Brighton, we have to beat Brighton. But they are a bogey team. They've beaten us at the Emirates a couple of times. They have our number. We drew with them twice last season. So it's not a given. They're in really good form as well, Brighton, by the way. They're really going under the radar with their form.
They'll be rested there.
Yeah, they'll be rested. And they rotate anyway, DJ. They rotate like a big club.
Yeah.
And then Villa at home. I would normally say it will depend on our form going into it, but I'm with DJ as well. I think we might get a bit of revenge, but it won't be easy, man. It won't be easy. Tuesday night, end of December. Yeah, it's a rough one. Emery will he'll get in his head. So I think we'll get sort of 12 to 13 points, but I think sort of 15-ish. Well, I'd sort of demand 16 if it was up to me, minimum. But if we got 16, I'd be delighted, absolutely delighted. Yeah, but I do see a loss and a draw in there. I see a loss and a draw in there.
Yeah.
And anything more than that is a disaster. By the way, anything more than a draw on the law in there is a disaster.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for me to add mine in there as well, I actually am going 13 points on the same games as well. If we was to win the Everton game and it was to be 15 points, do you know what? I'd obviously be a little bit annoyed. You always want, like you said, if you was to get 16 points, and I was going to say that as well, Shane, I reckon that'd be a fantastic run. That would be a really good run from that sort of head of fixtures going into New Year. You'd be top for a start. That's unquestionable. You'd stay top, and probably a healthy top as well if you was to mass that. Some real bastard fixtures out the way, and then it gives you sort of a fresh bit of impetus going into January. There'll be the second half of the season. I think 13 points is the absolute minimum you can afford to go. I don't think you can go any less than the 13. Of course, presuming that Manchester City would win all of their games, you would then go second on goal difference because you'd have dropped the 5 points. I don't think you can go any less than that if you want to carry on. I think it would be disastrous if Arsenal, by the end of this or by the 1st of January, Arsenal Football Club saw themselves 2, 3, 4 points behind. I think that would be disastrous. So we've got to try and maintain as much as we can, and try and be consistent as much as we can. 1 sec. Just see that. No. Big up, right? Give me 2 seconds. I've got to write in this as well. Big up to Lawrence. Oh no, we've already wrote that one in there. Sorry, Lawrence. I do apologise.
It's the Suge one, isn't it? It's the Suge one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I'll get that in a second. I will get that in a second because that's what I wanted to talk about. Aaron, you hate the early kickoffs. I bloody do. But I will spare a thought for you, my brother, as of course in Los Angeles is stupid o'clock. And I will spare a thought as well for the legendary, the world-class superstar that is Mrs. Suge, for all of her efforts getting up and watching the Arsenal. Suge, man up. But Mrs. Suge, do you know what I mean? Big up and respect her as always. And actually, let me extend that to every single person that is living quite a distance away, whether it be in your Australias, Americas, Canada, getting up at somewhere, a lot of places around the world. You get up at stupid o'clock to follow Arsenal. So double big up to all of you guys, man. As always, man. It's just absolute class. The support is absolute mad when you sort of take that into account. Give me 2 seconds. There was a comment. I thought I'd starred it, but I can Oh yeah. No, yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah, I thought I did star that, and I did star it. AFC always. Give us 2 seconds. Yeah, let's run around with this quick. DJB will go to. We did mention it earlier, and I did forget to mention it, so I do apologise. AFC always. I'd had it starred. It just got sort of lost in all of the chat. But should Arsenal have gone to a 3-4-5, 3-5-2? Sorry, 3-4-5. What are we doing here? 3-5-2 formation in that second half against Chelsea. Is that again sort of proving DJB that Arteta just doesn't have tactical nous or anywhere near enough of it to be able to impact the game? As it, again, we go on to his in-game management. We saw how poor his substitutions were again, but he's got the team to be able to be flexible, hasn't he, in terms of his positions and the substitutions he made. He could have actually probably benefited by making different ones in this formation and going for it. But we showed again that he bottled it, didn't he, D?
100%. And the thing is, the emphasis is on the team with 11 men when you're up against 10 men. So you try an attacking formation. You've got to force that Chelsea back into their own half. You've got to force them deeper. You've got to camp them in on the edge of their box and not let them out. If you watched the game the other week when Man United were against Everton with 10 men, right, and Everton at Old Trafford, they defended for their lives. They were camped in their box. They couldn't get out. They had little moments, but not. I mean, Man United was just not quick enough with the ball in possession, but they weren't bringing on defenders. They were taking defenders off and putting on attackers. This is what I'm saying. He's got the squad now to go and do this experimental. He's got the squad to be brave. He's got the players in his locker to be brave. He had Jesus on the bench. He had Wanyeri on the bench. He could have left Eze on, even though he wasn't playing well. He's still better than Marino in midfield. I don't ever want to see Marino in midfield. He's shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're a man down, aren't we? It was 10 against 10.
Yeah, listen, I'm all for Marino up top. I think he's done brilliant for us as a number 9. But, I mean, I don't ever want to see him in midfield. He's got the tools to go and hurt teams with 11, let alone 10.
Yeah.
And what you've got to do, you've got to make the opposition with 10 men think about how tactically they're going to set up. So if you're going 3-5-2, you can't bring on strikers, and you've then got to go defensive against it. But as I said, because he didn't line up second half, and because he didn't make the changes, and because he dropped Marino back in midfield, he had one thing on his mind. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this without losing? Yeah. And I've said this before in the past. He's Gareth Southgate. He's the Spanish Gareth Southgate.
Mm-hmm. And what did he do against Newcastle, DJ, when he was under a bit of pressure? He went all out for the win then. As soon as he gets a cushion, then he goes back to being cautious.
And then, he goes back on the back foot again. Look what he done against Sunderland. 2-1 up.
When the pressure's on him, he'll change.
2-1 up. 2-1 up.
Fantastic.
Crowd silence. We've got him on the ropes. We've got him on the back foot. What does he do? He sends a message out by putting on a defender.
Mm-hmm. True everything at Newcastle.
Yeah. And then he sends a message. But he will get praised up to the hills if we go out and beat Brentford 3 or 4-0, and Brentford are all over the place and had a shocking performance, and Zubimendi's got all the room in the world. Everyone will be going, oh, see, I don't know what they've been saying the other day. Panic's over, blah, blah, blah. Arsenal are back. And then as soon as we go to Villa Park, it'll be back to square one again. And that Brentford result won't mean nothing. Yeah. This is how we think. It's not how they think. They think smashing a really bad Spurs that came completely to the Emirates and got it completely wrong. Let's be honest. They won't do that again. You won't see the same Spurs away from home. They'll be totally different at home against us, right? But they completely got it wrong, Spurs, right? And we come out of there and, we smashed them. Brilliant. North London derby, fantastic. Bayern Munich, we done a job in them in the second half. But again, Bayern Munich weren't sitting back. They were trying to get possession and trying to get us on the break and stuff like that. But you get teams that get into... what Chelsea and Sunderland done now, they've laid a marker down now to Aston Villa, Everton, all these teams that we're going to go away to are going to pretty much do exactly the same thing.
Villa play that way naturally anyway, DJ.
Yeah, they're going to get amongst us. They're going to get at us. And this guy's got to find a way to turn it on its head. So getting back to his question, 3-5-2, I'd have played that all day long. That's what should have come out second half.
Yeah. And like I said, I'll bring it to Shane. It's just, again, another frustration of this manager that we can all sort of see it. AFC put it in there. I think all of us were looking at that and going, why are you not changing something up? Like, you don't just have to put on like-for-like substitutions, or even just go, okay, well, we're going to take off Eze and, you know what I mean, bring Marino down there. You can change the whole formation. You don't just have to, good night, Mrs. Binks. Good night, my girl.
Mrs. Binks,
you know what I mean? There's things you can do, isn't there? There's stuff you can change over, you know. Like, why does he not do anything like that? It's just, it's his little way, or the absolute highway, isn't it? At the detriment of Arsenal, usually, isn't it, bud?
Yeah, well, his mind is thinking on the sideline. What if I go for it and lose, and I have to answer questions about losing the 10 men? That is the way his mind works. How will even my most loyal followers won't be able to put up for me? That's the way his mind always. He's a politician. He's a politician. He'll sub on a Dowman when he feels the crowd are on him. Oh, next game I'll bring Dowman on. That'll get the crowd on my side. He'll bring Jesus back. Someone said it in my chat today for the last 3 minutes against Brentford and show, oh yeah, get the crowd up.
Yeah.
He's a politician. He knows exactly what he's doing. So the reason that he didn't go all out, and I mean, when I say any top manager, I mean any top manager across the board that wins shit, that has won shit before. And I'm even talking fucking Brendan Rodgers at Celtic. He throws 2 or 3 strikers on. You know what I mean? That's what he does in that situation. Even if it's against Rangers, he'll throw 2 or 3 strikers on. They're down to 10 men. We have them on the ropes. Oh, well, we didn't really have them on the ropes, but we should have them on the ropes. And like me and DJB said, and we all agreed, if you walk out for the second half Chelsea and they see Wanyeri, Gyökeres and all these guys lined up ready to come on, they look over at Maresca and go, you told us to go for this at halftime. Do you still want us to do that? You know what I mean? You put a bit of doubt in their head and you lay down a marker, but he's scared to lose the 10 men, Jan Boy. And that's the thing. We have a manager who is scared to lose the 10 men because he knows that he'll have to answer questions on it. He's thinking, if I get a draw, he knows the way the Cantons will work. He knows the way the Zippies will work. He knows the way the AFTVs will work. Hard-fought point. Arsenal tweeted that straight after. Hard-fought point at Stamford Bridge. Not we just do the 10 men.
Really?
No, I'm not even paraphrasing. That was the wording. Hard-fought point at Stamford Bridge. Because they know that's what they do. They come out with it straight away. Paddy Power did an ad about it. And this is how it works. This is what they do. It's like Canton saying about the form, oh, we've only drawn this amount of games, that amount of games. Yeah, but I can do that too. We've drawn 2 of the last 3. That is not championship winning form. That's not how you win a league. I can do that as well. We can all word it the way we want. Yeah. Oh, well, Gabriel, he got rotated out in the League Cup. That's the way he put it. No. He got rotated out in the Champions League. No, he got subbed off because he got injured, mate. You know what I mean? And then he started the next game. We can all do it that way. We can all word it that way. But to answer your question, the why he didn't do that, because he's a fucking coward. Because he is a coward. He did it against Newcastle when he was feeling the pressure, when he was getting the pressure about the 3 fridges in midfield, about locking up against City, about locking up against Liverpool. He thought, oh shit, man, I'm actually getting questioned. Even by the likes of Canton have asked me questions about this. I better do something. And he threw caution to the wind. He went against his natural instincts. And that's all I've asked for. I've said this season, he will never change. Narcissist, and he is a narcissist, by the way. That's not even a joke. The guy is a narcissist. So he really is. They don't change, right? But they will if they feel like they're cornered. Then they'll do whatever it takes to get out of it. They'll step over whoever. So he will, by the time he comes to the end, he'll throw everyone under the bus. We've seen him do it before. He threw Eze under the bus after Liverpool, stuff like that. But Gabriel Heinz and all, they're all getting it, man. They're all getting flung under if he feels like he's under pressure. But all I've said is, because I know he won't change, I need enough pressure put on him that it forces him to go against what he normally does. And I thought I was seeing it against Bayern. I thought I was seeing hints of it. And I said, I don't know who's in his ear. We know Bert has put pressure on him. We know the board has put pressure on him. We know that Heinz is there, but Heinz seems to have been bamboozled by him. He seems to be buying into it. And I'm thinking, oh, man, come on. You were brought in here to keep this guy in check. He looks like he's bought into it. He looks like he's really being bamboozled by this guy. So I always worry when he's our manager. I don't look at any game. I'm at views with this guy in charge since 22-23. I haven't gone into any game thinking, yeah, this is a banker. I haven't. Not any of them. No matter who we're playing, there's always a part of me thinking he could do something here to mess it up. This guy could do something here to mess it up. During the Wenger years in 02, in the Invincible years, there was plenty of games where you just went, I wonder what score will beat them by. Right? And you did. You felt that way. I wonder what score will beat them by. Even in there was periods of the so-called terrible Wenger years when we had mad purple patches where we won 10 or 11 in a row when you thought, what are we going to beat them by? I've never had that with him. In 22-23, I had a couple of months of it where I thought, what are we going to beat them by? That then it faded, obviously, when Everton locked up and showed how to beat us, and he still hasn't figured it out. So why he doesn't do it? He's a coward. If he risked, just didn't want to risk losing to 10 men and having to answer questions about it. That's it. That's the only reason he did it. And like, instead of saying, right, if I beat these here, and the funny thing is, and I'll finish on this, if you go all out to score against them early in the second half, you can put it to bed early, and then you can still lock up. You don't,
yeah.
It's and if they do break away and score, then you have a half an hour just to keep bombarding them. They're not going to hold out for that long. They're just not. Chelsea are a young team. They're inexperienced. You could have got at them. They had 2 men in midfield. But yeah, that was a shameful performance. I'm sorry. I can't have people say that it was great. But listen, you know what I mean. Yeah, no, he's just a coward. Really, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
man. He's just a coward.
No, facts. We got Stooges, and we'll end on this, man. Big up the Stooge. Our brother from down under is saying, and I'll push this to Norms, is saying right now, other than Timber, Gabriel, Eze, Dalman, Ethan, MLS, Rice, I'd listen to offers to sell the rest of the squad in January or the summer. And I'm quite intrigued on this, man, because I sort of know the panel's feelings anyway, and some people in the chat. We have got the winter window coming up. Can you see anything sort of happening? Do you agree with Suge? There's a lot of players you actually would have on the chopping block. Can you see anyone coming in? Can you see us trying to sign anyone? Be active?
Nobody coming in. No.
You don't think so? Yeah, go on.
I mean,
we'll go around. We'll go out.
I mean, I think with the Ethan situation, he just needs the minutes. You know what I mean? And you'd want him to go to a team where he can get minutes and get game time, because the way Arteta is treating him currently at the moment is just he's asking for minutes to play behind closed door games. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so he gets those, and then he come the day when and just sort of just flick back to this 3-5-2 formation. You're thinking, bring him on, flood that midfield, right? Because all of a sudden, how is it that Reece James can turn around and say that, bro? I feel disappointed that we didn't win that game.
Mm-hmm.
You got two midfielders in Enzo, right? Enzo and Reece, right? Who's a right back, controlling that midfield up against 3 midfielders. Mad. It's absolutely crazy. So I mean, yeah, I just don't see anything happening. Look, come the summer, then you're probably gonna, if offers came in, I mean, I'll keep Saliba. I can't do Saliba. I'll keep Saliba. But the likes of MLS. See, the thing is, if we go and get a left back in the summer, and MLS is obviously, we know he's right down the pecking order, it's either you're going to keep him and have him as a midfield depth, because the midfield that we currently got at the moment, if we lose Declan Rice, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
we're in massive trouble, and that's the worry. And because this guy's going to play him on Wednesday, and then he's going to play him again on Saturday, this guy is going to be knackered. He's going to be knackered because we haven't got the depth in quality to replace him. Yeah, we haven't got the depth to say, right, okay, let's play Moreno and Zubimendi. I wouldn't trust them against Brentford. I just wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what we need?
Trust him, Norms. You don't trust his bench. That's why they don't get.
And that's the point. And that's the major point. That's the
manager don't trust him. He
can't coach him to get better.
That's the point. Yeah.
Do you know what we need to happen, Norms? And I know this is an obvious. We need to be 2-3-0 up v Brentford on Wednesday night with a good 50-60 minutes gone, and him just clear that squad out. So you know what I'm saying?
That's what you want. That's what you want.
We're up there. Come the 55th, 60 minute, get Rice off that pitch, get Timber off that pitch, get Saka off that pitch. You know what I mean? Get whoever needs that rest, whoever's in that red zone, whoever's knocking on that door, just get them off. And more importantly, don't just get them off. Bring the right players on. You know, bring on, if he hasn't already started, of course, bring on a Gyökeres for more minutes. Maybe bring on the MLS. You know what I mean? Should Calafiori be playing to get some more minutes in that kid's legs? Bring on a Ben White. Not only to rest Timber, but of course to get some minutes in Ben White's legs, because we always say Timber's going to be one of the next to go. One of the next to go. And Ben White, if he is to replace him, like Shane always says as well, you know, he's not going to be able to play 38 games a season, Ben White, anymore. But he's not going to be able to play many games if he hasn't got the bloody minutes in his legs. So it's imperative we don't just rest players, but we get minutes into players' legs. You know, I know I really don't like the geezer, but you bring Norgard on for Declan Rice, for crying out loud. If you're 3-0 up,
bring him on.
Do not need Declan Rice on there, even though with or without minutes in his legs, Norgard is absolute pants. He just is. But you know what? Just lob a body in there. Surely you're not going to lose a 3-0 goal margin against Brentford with half hour to play. Just get Declan Rice off the field and get that Wally in there. Do you know what I mean? This is about, and of course that's all down to the result on that. But and it was a hypothetical point anyway. We kind of need something like that to happen. We need to be comfortable in that game and to get players off. I'm not saying make 5 substitutions, but, you know, you can make 3 after 60 minutes. You can make another one after the 70th minute. And, you know, maybe I can understand and appreciate you don't want someone going down injured or whatever and you have to play with 10 men. But you can at least use probably most of your subs by 80 minutes if you're 3-0 up. Do you know what I mean? Even if you don't, you can at least minimum use 4 substitutions in that game to get rest in them important players' legs, you know, minutes in there. I don't know.
I mean, just quickly, I was watching that just quickly. I was watching another podcast that you guys will probably have tuned into. One of the new, I'm just going to say the new boy on the block. Yeah, one of the new boys on the block, and somebody put in not a super chat, but just a normal thing to say, like, you know, it's imperative that we need to rest Moreno. I was gonna actually screenshot it and send it to you, Shane. I thought I was gonna screenshot it and send it to you. That you should, because he's played so many games. He's very important, integral.
Indefinitely rest him. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
He's integral to the side. There was no mention of Declan Rice. No, but Moreno needs rest. Moreno needs rest. If I find it, I'll screenshot it and send it.
He spends most of his time lying down on the pitch anyway. He must be fresh as fuck, man. He's all time sitting down. I don't know what are we doing here?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's funny, man. But yeah, D, what do you sort of reckon? What can you see? Can you see any movement in January? Do you think players should go? I know you like Ethan, didn't you, on loan as a thing, or you think
he's finished.
He should go on loan.
Ethan was finished as soon as the summer window was over. That was it. As soon as we signed Eze and that, Ethan was finished. And you say about a left back, but Skelly's behind in Cape as well. Because when Saliba and Gabriel's fit, if anything happens to Calafiori, in Cape's going left back. It ain't going to be Skelly.
Oh,
yeah.
So Skelly's done. So you've got Miles Lewis Tierney, and Ethan Smith Rowe. You know, it was facts, guys, isn't it? I mean, that's what's going to happen. But I think if we're going to bring anyone in January, which I can't see, we need to get players out the door first. That's just basic mathematics. This we can't go and spend more money and not move players on. If it was me, this is going to cause shockwaves. Apart from Kenny Ken, if he's watching, Martinelli would go if I could get 40 mil, 35 mil for Martinelli.
I agree.
He'd be gone. He'd be gone 100%.
Absolutely.
He's just not a 90-minute player for me. You can sort of see that against Chelsea. You see it countless of times last season and the season before. You know, when teams are dead in, when teams are treading water, bring on Martinelli. Don't start him. So for me, Martinelli would be a great one to get rid of. I'd get Ethan out on loan. you know, perhaps get him off the wage bill, perhaps get him, you know, not that his wages are that much anyway, but get him some minutes, get him some experience, get him playing, and then see what he's like in you know, come next summer. Jesus, for me, if I could get rid of Jesus, I'd get rid of Jesus.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what Sue just saying in the chat there. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
he's got to go. And
he ain't going nowhere on that page.
no, and if we're going to bring players in, I would, because he's another one. Unfortunately, in my book, Ben White's not done a lot wrong. It's just that Timber's been better and he's been outstanding. Just Timber's a better right back than Ben White.
Yeah.
But Ben White ain't done a lot wrong. I'd cash in on Ben White if the offers came in as well. He'd be another one. So Ben White, Martinelli, Ethan on loan. Trying to think who else really. He'll keep Havertz because Havertz is his baby.
Yeah.
He's coming in. He's going to be starting. He's going to be
should
starting
go,
ahead of
though,
Gorka.
shouldn't he?
He'll be starting
should-
ahead of Gorka is.
At the detriment of Arsenal
loan
again.
him out. Loan him out, but you know, get him some proper game time. Get him on loan somewhere as well. But yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, that's realistically the only ones you can. I mean, I'd get rid of Norgard. I know he ain't played, but why did we ever sign him? Jesus,
Pointless.
what was the point of that signing? What was the point
squad depth
of that?
Yeah,
because he's going to be
but he's a
rotated
smart
in
player,
Royce
was
to give
it?
Royce.
Shane,
You know,
Shane, what was
he was
what
brought in
they
to give
said?
Royce. Yeah, he's a line
Clever
breaker.
signing, was it? Well,
Line breaker. Because
Yeah,
if you was to break down, if you was to actually break down and look at our squad, Gyökeres, as much as he was pulling up trees abroad, has not really done it in the Premier League. Brighton let him go, and then he was at Coventry. We still haven't seen the proper Gyökeres. I know he's been injured, but we've seen him hit one in from something he didn't know about, but we ain't really seen the proper Gyökeres. Eze's going to be in and out. You're going to see 3 or 4 games of brilliance and then about 2 or 3 games of pretty average, but he's a fantastic player. I'm glad we've got him. Yeah. But when you look at the actual squad, like Norgard, Zubamendi, for me, no, I don't. I still want someone to sit me down and go through videos of Zubamendi and compare it to the great players I've seen at Arsenal and tell me why you're saying Super Mendy, world class and all of that. I just,
embarrassing.
I'm not seeing what people are seeing. Perhaps I need to go need new glasses or something. I'm just not seeing it. Sorry. But no, I'd keep Saliba. I'd keep Saliba. Gabriel in the summer, it would be what, 29, 30? Injury prone.
Oh, he's finished. Yeah.
If you can still get big money, if the Saudis come in for him with big money, I'd probably look to get him in the summer, but not in January. That's about it. Martinelli, Ben White, Ethan on loan, and Jesus would all go for me in January.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? What about you, Shane, to close us?
In an ideal world, Jesus, but he's already said he's staying. You're damn right he is. He wouldn't even get half of what he's on somewhere else. He wouldn't even get half of what he's on.
No.
The same, I'd get Ethan out on loan. I wanted him to go out on loan in the summer. I wanted him to go to Palace as part of the deal on loan and just step in and replace Eze for a year, come back when this manager's gone. Instead, we gave him a new contract and then fucked him off on the bench. Lewis Skelly, if a new manager came in, I'd keep him. Otherwise, I'd send him out on loan as well. No point having him there. We're stunting his progression. And if you look at this golden generation that has come through now, including Ketty in it because he's not a very good player, but there was always potential there. He could finish and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Look at Saka. If you look at Saka, Nelson, Ethan, MLS,
even the likes of Balogun coming through, you know, there's
Balogun as well.
Iwobi, if you want to stretch back a little further.
Yeah, okay. But Iwobi, Arteta didn't get his hands on him now. He was sold to the Emery. But the point I'm making is that even with Saka now that we've seen that he's been ruined with injury, right? He hasn't done anything with any of them, really. He hasn't done anything with any of them. You know what I mean? Nelson's hamstring every second week, gone out on loan. He's going to spend his life doing that out on loan. He'll drop down divisions. Never going to happen. And Ketty will be sold off from Palace in the summer, I'm sure, to a team that's just come up. Then he'll go down, and then he'll just become one of those yo-yo guys. He'll have a little purple patch every now and then. Smith Rowe's done as well. He just confidence. He destroys them. He destroys these players. And if you look at Saka, it's the only one that he can sort of claim as success. But talk to me in 2 years about him. Talk to me in 2 years about Saka. Let's see when we're sitting here in 2 years what we're saying about him and what even the top gooners are saying about him. I pray that he gets through this, but I just don't think he physically can. That's why he's frustrated, because he physically can't do the things that he used to do. So I hold this manager to a massive account for that he has not got the best out of any of these guys. And I've always said it. If Wenger was still our manager, Saka would be a world-class player now. He wouldn't be injured all the time, and he'd be a world-class player. Right, and that's just the way it is. Hansi Flick the same would have him. Guardiola would have him playing like Foden, getting Player of the Year and stuff like that. That's just a guarantee, right? But who I'd let go? The problem is we can't sell them. You know what I mean? I'd get Havertz out the door as well, but he's ruined as well with injuries. No one's paying his wage. Jesus, no one's paying his wage. Zinchenko still has to come back to. Oh no, his contract's up, isn't it? So yeah, we get rid of him on a free. Another one we lost. Another one that we paid a fortune to. Yeah, and all the wage.
Yeah,
all the wage. Yeah, thanks for that.
Toodaloo, bye.
Absolutely nothing. Thanks for absolutely nothing. So yeah, there's a few I'd get rid of.
To be fair though, Shane, to be fair with Zinchenko, he did raise the mentality though, didn't he? He raised the mentality. Yeah.
But again, he was played out of position, wasn't he? He was played out of position.
Thank you for the 2 charity shields then. Sorry, yeah. You did bring that winning mentality. We won a couple of community shields on penalties. But Martinelli, I'd get rid of him. I'd get rid of Trossard too, if I'm being honest with you. I'd get rid of Trossard as well. If a big offer came in. Not in January now. Not in January.
No, summer.
But I would get Nwaneri out on loan in January. I would get him out on loan on January.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I'd get MLS out on loan in January as well.
Yeah.
And I'd put if I was Bert, I'd put a stipulation saying that more often than not I want to play in midfield, because you can put them in loan stipulation.
But
I just in that green bubble, I was having a little scroll down. And then this just caught my eye. I was like, what's this?
I saw that picture of Arteta this morning, and I was just
the only trouble is one on the left is a real genius.
Yeah. The ironic thing is that Arteta is the Yoko Ono. He's destroyed our club, so he's actually Yoko Ono.
John Lennon is an absolute genius.
Yeah.
This guy.
Well, I saw that picture today, and I was like, it reminds me of something. And I was like, oh yeah, that John Lennon picture.
I was scrolling down, Shane. I was like, what the fuck is this here?
You know what, though, Shane? You made a good point about the golden generation. These youngsters that have been under this manager. People don't want to talk. See, you won't get people talk about that. Lewis Skelly, bang out of form, ruined him.
Yeah. Needs to play midfield, and he never will. You know what?
Zinchenko vibes, isn't he? Zinchenko vibes now, Lewis Skelly.
He won't play Lewis
not really gone up any levels. He's just stayed the same. He's just leveled out Saka. Yeah. Reece Nelson killed him. I didn't look at it like that, but yeah, he has, hasn't he? He has.
Yeah.
Look at all these young players that we had, and we could have saved millions of pounds.
Millions.
If they'd have been coached right, Skelly would have been Skelly would have been our like Rodgers.
DJ, he signed Fabio Vieira when we had Emil Smith-Rowe there.
Yeah, he signed
35 million.
Yeah,
35 million.
Over him as a player.
According to some, there's not money being wasted at the football club.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, brilliant. Then they just named off the current players that are in the
coach the youngsters. And the fact that he bought Fabio Vieira when Ethan Smith-Rowe was getting call-ups.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolute horrendous waste. But listen, we will wrap up there. There's nearly 90 of you in the building. Don't forget, before you leave, to drop a cheeky sub to the panel, the absolute world-class panel that is DJB, Shane Gooner and Normski. And if you'd be so kind, don't forget to do all those lovely things, like drop a like on this stream, share it, notification bell on, drop me a sub as well. And yeah, man, we'll leave it there. Thoroughly enjoyed this show today. It's gone on for a little bit longer than I thought it would, but there's been some belter comments in the chat. I've been reading them all. You can't get through them all, as in like reading them out on shows like this for 4 people on there. But I've been reading them, every single one of them. I'm trying to put up as many as I can. And yeah, man, the conversation has been absolutely lit, as the kids would say in the chat. And big up to you, absolutely every single one of you, man. World class chat, as I always say. The Zinedine Zidane chat, the Thierry Henry of the chat. So big up to everyone that's been in here from start to finish. We will raid Jester, so ATA raid on Jester. Thanks to everyone that's sent in the super chats. Thank you to all the members, the mods, everyone, and of course to my panel. Big up to every single one of you. We are out. Toodaloo. Boom.